Okay, people, so let's read this question. It's kind of a book, but it's interesting. So there's a guy in my work, 21, always call him Bestie, 19. Answer, doesn't hesitate even if I'm yelling from a distance. And he's not looking in my direction. Why are you yelling from a distance? Just text him. We became friends February this year. My work is seasonal. I work with him once a week, more or less most time once. I'm an actor. However, I seasonally do culinary just cause I like catching up with people. His friends invited us to a firework a week ago. His friends invited us to a firework a week ago. She invited all the people he spent most of his time with. The day when we were heading there, a girl calls, let's call her Tiff. I bet she said, okay, all right. She said she wanted to come. And he said, yeah, sure she could come. She came with two other guys, friends of his. So that day I met everyone he hangs out with. You know, when you're in school and you have that clan you always with. In short, I met both the college and the high school ones. Okay. You know, as I'm listening to this, I'm curious. Why didn't he ever ask you out on a private date? You've known him since February. You've seen him at least a few times a month. By this time, he should have developed feelings. He should have asked you out. By this time, he should not be asking you on a group meet, on a group date, or he should not, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, dicks are very simple. When they like you, they want to isolate you. When a guy takes you on a date with his friends, that's never a good sign. Guys will not risk you meeting their friends, initially at least, without knowing that you like them. That's not what guys do. So it's already a red flag that he hasn't asked you out, that he hasn't like continually been talking to you and you guys hanging outside of work. It's a red flag in my book, but let's just see what happens. Waiting for the fireworks, he's seated right next to me, directly in front. At my back, left side, right side. I moved so many times because I was talking to his friends. There is so much moving to do at the beach, and everyone I moved, I could always find them by my side. Tiff called that she has arrived, and he said he is going to get his friends and me. Okay, he came back, introduced them, and how they knew each other. Upon sitting, his two friends were beside me. And by the way, as you guys are listening to this, you guys might notice me get frustrated. It's only because I care when I read these questions, and so my frustration sometimes, gets the best of me, but it's all with love. And if you ever ask me these types of questions and pay for a question by clicking on the description down below, by either joining my Patreon for $25 a month, you can ask one question per month and join the book club, or for $75, you can ask one big long question like this one. If you guys see me get frustrated, it's because I care, because when I read these questions, it feels like I'm talking to a family member and they're getting played and they're not getting it. So how do you want me to feel? So it's all because I care. Some people find it funny, but I'm saying this for the people who don't know me. It's my way of expressing that I care. If I promise you, if I read this with a blank face, it means that I don't care. So yeah, let's just keep listening. He pushes them to each side and sat directly in front of me. Okay, play cards with him. And after the first round, he turned and said, do you want to play? Me, I don't know how to play Uno. I haven't played it before. Him, don't worry, I'll teach you. My brain is like, holy, what just happened? I didn't know his voice could get so stern. Because he's always aloof and inattentive, at least his friends agree on that. And he acts like it too. But what I've noticed is that when I talk, he repeats and remember the information long after. I'm sorry, man. It sounds like look, reading this right now and listening to it again. It sounds like you're holding on to a lot of straws. You're holding on to a lot of like little fragments of hope. Him remembering what you said is not a plus, okay? It's not oh my God, he remembered what you said. That's incredible. No, that doesn't mean he likes you, and that doesn't mean he doesn't like you. It means nothing. Don't look too much into that, all right? And do not give him credit for just listening and remembering stuff. Don't hype yourself up into liking him because you're not getting any other clear signs. And so you start looking into unnecessary details to see if he likes you. We all do that when we like someone and they're not showing us they like us. We'll be like, oh my God, they blinked a little slower when they saw me. What does that mean? It means he blinked slow. Well, one of the reasons I started liking him anyways, because my brain is like, wait, you remembered? You remember me? You remember you heard me? What? How do you know that? Anyways, moving on. All right. He's playing friendly with Tiff sometimes, which throws me off. Does he like her? Every picture and video I see them together in their group of friends. He's always across and far away. Though he hangs out with that friend group a lot, she's in the college classmate friend group. There's a concert today, picture that throws me off too. Okay, she sent me a picture. Let me see. Oh. Ooh. Tiff. Tiff is a cutie. All right. Okay. All right, Tiff. She sent me another one, the second slide. So does he like her? Well, he has a picture with her in his, like her on top of him like that. So that's quite a picture. Okay, let's see. So if you're in this situation at this moment, you're getting information that says, okay, you're not getting any information outside of him having a memory and remembering basic things. You're seeing you're seeing that he treats another girl better. Like, he takes pictures with her. He puts her on his shoulders and takes pictures. But he's not, from what I'm reading, it doesn't seem like it's a date. It doesn't seem like what I'm trying to say is that whenever you're in murky waters like this, it should not be like the Scooby-Doo gang and saying, oh wow, let's investigate. You should be like the black guy in a scary movie and say, you know what? There's too much darkness around there. Let's get the hell out of here. Because if you don't chase, if you are in this situation and it seems like he puts you around his friends, but he's not really giving you undivided attention and you want undivided attention, what you got to do is say no to the group meetups. Say no to it. And say I'm busy. If he likes you, he's going to ask you out on a date, alone, one-on-one. Guys want to get you alone. When a guy brings you around his friends and then brings other girls, it's not a good sign. So you should take the safe route and don't go into that pit of darkness, because maybe there's like a bait at the end of that tunnel, and don't do nothing. When we were at the fireworks festival, my back started getting sore, so I was gonna ask to use his leg as my backrest. Oh, it started getting sore, huh? As I was leaning back to ask, my back was in contact with his leg, and he moved his leg to properly support my back on his backrest. Okay. Without saying a word to me, his friends, especially the guys, were looking at each other confused. Like, what in the world? Are they together? I saw it from the corner of my eyes, but out of focus on the ongoing firework. What is your eye, a camera? And he looked unbothered, like you out of focus, like it's an Android. All right. At the end of the firework, I started getting cold. To which I told him, if I knew you'd be cold, I would have bought a jacket. I don't have one. All right. I was caressing his arm, and I said, your arms are warm. My love, listen, my love. Look, my love, listen, man. You're rubbing his arms right now. All right? You're doing too much. Okay? You're doing a little bit too much. You're doing way too much in this situation right now. You're out of control right now. You can't do this. You're rubbing his arm. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that, man. Like, you gotta, like, this is the thing, is that when a guy is not making a move on you and you like the guy, what tends to happen, it forces the other person to start making a move. You know, what you should do is not make a move, because if you don't make a move and he likes you, he's gonna start rubbing your arms. But you're being too obvious, man. You're not being a challenge. Come on.
May I hold your arms? He brought out his arm.
And now you're asking for permission to hold his arm. Jesus Christ. ¿Por qué tú haces esto? No sea cabeza dura. Oh.
While we were heading home with his friends, minus Tiff, that bitch. I'm kidding, she didn't say that bitch. And the two guys she came with, college clan, because they were going in the opposite direction. She was saying goodbye to him, but he wasn't looking. So she kept yelling his name and bye where she was right. Okay, beside him. He finally turned and waved her goodbye. One of his high school friends was upset because he was asking her what area she was heading. And all she was say is his name, bye, while ignoring his friend's suggestions. She probably didn't hear you. Low-key giggling and quickly stopped. I'm like, I shouldn't be caught laughing because that's his friend after all. Looked up and saw he looked unbothered and emotionless. Okay, so clearly he doesn't care about her. All right, he doesn't care about her. While we were heading home, the time I couldn't hold his arm for space constraint, he'd switch his arm, his hold to my hand. After a while, I'd switch it back to his arm. At one point on the walk, we separated from his friends. He didn't feel like going back to their side, though we were going all to the same train station. Anyways, we headed home together. My arms were warm, but still wrapped around his the whole time until his stop came.
So right now you're pretty much communicating to him, yo, I want you. And I want you real bad, okay? Look, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with communicating that you want him, all right? My problem is, where is the reciprocation? You're doing all of this in the hopes that he reciprocates, where you should be doing this as a reciprocation, not as an initiation, my love. Oh my God.
He hugged me goodbye, but he patted my back. I've met better huggers. He needs a tutorial.
So he gave you the friendly pat on the back. Look, when I'm a guy and I like you and I hug you, I'm squeezing. I'm squeezing. Yeah. When a guy likes you, you feel like you have to call cops to get you to let them go, to let you look, so that he can let you go. Anytime you get a pat, look, sometimes guys do that, and I see he's Asian, so maybe it's culture. All right, but let's keep listening.
And two, I haven't seen him hug anyone, always waving, not an excuse. Fast forward to this week. Okay, fast forward. One, he missed my birthday. Texting him, bestie, you forgot something.
Listen to me. Listen. You could call out your friends for missing your birthday. You don't call out a dude who you're interested in and he's not reciprocating. You don't call him out on the fact that he missed your birthday. You have no right. You have no right to call him out on it. I mean, listen, where on my channel do I say to do this? That's what I want to know. Where in my videos do I say to do this? Because you're doing what you're not supposed to be doing. Like, you're not letting him show you he likes you. You're invading his personal space by trying to get signals of, hey, I like you. And when you don't get those signals, you try harder. You can't do this. All right, you just can't. Please, okay? All right, let's keep listening. All right.
Texting him, bestie, you forgot something, and he didn't even answer his text. Like, at least ask, what did I forget? And then I asked his IG.
So you called him out on it, and he ignored you. You gotta understand what state of mind did you have to be in to read that text and not give a fuck? Like we got to think about how would he have to perceive you, and what would he have to feel to read your text and not give a fuck about responding. And that's where my strategies come in. You got to learn to walk away, and you're not doing it. You're not getting the hint. You know? Come on. Come on.
I added him on an IG post I found funny that relates to the situation that happened earlier that week. The post was like, girls can't decide what they want to eat. Because on the 29th firework day, we branched into a place that had food. He wanted food, and I was hungry too. So he said, what do you want to eat? Me, I don't know. Just know I want food. Him, okay, I'll get you something. Went there. As he was ordering his first, I said, actually, I want fries. I'm craving that. So he ordered the fries and whatever he wanted. I'm surprised he didn't act frustrated that I didn't know what I wanted to eat.
Some people have better temperaments than others. It doesn't mean he likes you just because he has patience.
Anyways, he didn't answer that tag. Before the 29th, he didn't use to answer the tag anyways, nor did he answer the text sometimes. Okay. He's not one of those people that is on their phone texting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As for what I've seen so far, well, when he likes you, he's going to do that.
You know, it's funny how we rationalize that somebody doesn't like us into that they like us. My issue here is that you're not seeing reality as it is. You're denying what your eyes are showing you clearly. You know, and I understand you like him, but most likely what you're doing here is a pattern of thinking. That most likely this is not the first time this happened to you. You're making way too many excuses, and I think your solution is to actually be a little bit more pessimistic about things.
And Snapchat looks like a catalog of unanswered messages. My brain is like, I can't be unbothered responding to your friend's answer my message. Plus, he's on vacation with his family currently. He informed me on that about 2 weeks ago prior. Then again, if he has time to watch my story, his hands and phone are clearly working well.
Yes. This whole myth of he's never on his phone is a bunch of BS. You have to have some type of autism to not want to be connected to the phone, honestly. Like, you have to have some type of, like, there's something about you that any normal individual is kind of into their phone. So it's when somebody appears like they're not on their phone when you text them, or when somebody gives you the impression that they're not on their phone and that's why they don't respond, my love, it just means they don't like you that much. That's all that means. That's all that means. And I am not being mean. I'm being, you're making way too many excuses. Oh,
to like my tags or even acknowledge them. I have an Instagram save collection with him, but I'm not gonna be, she even put finna, but I'm not gonna be continue to save things in that folder if he doesn't answer my tags or like it.
What? You have a folder already for this? My love, listen to me, man. Look, Father Alice is nice, I read this and I read it with love and compassion. But you're doing too much here, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, you have a folder already? Do you have what are you, held up a tacky? You can't do this. You don't know him. Stop enshrining already a little space for you and him. You guys are nothing right now and you're doing too much. Oh.
Or do you give a diagnosis as to what to do? Plus, should I accept the fact that he would text me back sometimes, since he didn't always before that day? Most time he does. Sometimes he doesn't. Didn't used to piss me off as much until I started to like him more. Girl, you gotta leave him, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. He doesn't like you. Like, you gotta get the hint. You gotta catch the hint right here. He doesn't like you. Like, he doesn't like you. And I don't know why you're not seeing it. He does not like you.
Well, look, I'm okay. Look, Father Alex is being a little mean there. Let me speak for him right now. It's the thing here is that most likely I see a pattern with you. All right. It seems like it seems like you make up your mind. It seems like you're a strong-willed person, and that's a positive thing. But it might be sabotaging you in these types of relationships, man. You're not seeing it because you're not choosing to see it. You're most likely you're an optimist, you're an idealist, you're a romantic person, right? And you want love, and that's healthy and that's normal. The thing is that you want to have certain standards with the love that you give. You want love that's reciprocated. And I'll be honest with you, I'm more similar to you than I'm making that out to seem. I'm like this. When I was younger, I struggled reading signs of like negative feedback. I struggled reading when somebody liked me or when somebody didn't like me. I was literally like that. So I have a lot of compassion for you, and I completely understand your point of view. You know, like you like them, and you're focusing on the positive signs, and you're conveniently ignoring the negative signs. And I don't blame you, because that's actually just your unconscious. That's your natural way. That's just the way your subconscious works, you know. And hopefully, me telling you this makes you consciously aware of this pattern, because when you become aware of this pattern, sometimes it breaks down, sometimes it ends, right? Sometimes our unawareness of the pattern reinforces it, and sometimes just being aware of the pattern liberates us.
All right? He doesn't like you. I have brought both good and bad to you, accepting no relevant information. Does he like me? No. He doesn't like you. Is he being friendly? Yes.
But also, he's being passive aggressive, because he's ignoring your birthday request, even though I don't recommend you do that. If he was really being friendly with you, he would have wished you a happy birthday. That's just how that works. So clearly he knows you're interested, and he's just friend zoning you. He's just using you as a pawn to get the other girl jealous as well, it seems like.
And if he does, what should I do about the fact that he's not answering? You should just move on. I'm sorry. You should just move on. Should I go on a rampage or calm my ass down and breathe and say nothing? You should move on.
And let's just say I said go on a rampage, what would that be like? Like what? A rampage? A rampage? What do you? Oh, I love you guys. You guys, man. Oh.
What should I do to move forward to secure its lifeline so I get asked out in the future? Don't tell me 90% of the relationship, because I'm trying to be that 10%. So tell me, what should I do? Listen to me, man. I don't think you're understanding what I'm telling you. You should move on from this. He doesn't like you. We can't do nothing if he doesn't like you. He doesn't like you. You like him a lot, but he doesn't like you. I'm bringing you the situation before it's dead. It's dead already. He doesn't like you. Before it even starts. And right now, I haven't tagged them or anything, because doing nothing is better than doing something. Okay. So, Father Alex, what's your diagnosis? What book am I supposed to be reading? Which of your courses am I supposed to be buying? And for what situation? Can you do a course on each chapter of The Art of Seduction and 48 Laws of Power? Por favor. Separate courses, please. All right, Jesus. All right, you make him getting picky here. Look, okay, I'm gonna answer your question. That was a long question, by the way, but she paid for the long question. He doesn't like you, and the reason why he doesn't like you is because you're doing all of this work. You're not first of all, you're not even a challenge for him, and don't ask me how to be a challenge, because in order for you to be a challenge, he has to be putting effort. And it seems like you're the one that's putting effort. You're the one that's going to his environment, and exposing yourself to an environment where he's comfortable and you're not comfortable. And generally speaking, you have to move on from this situation. He doesn't like you. It doesn't seem like he's putting any effort, and it doesn't seem like you're catching the hint. All right, move on from this. And the reason why I'm telling you to move on is because clearly he doesn't like you, and you're not getting it. I'm just being honest with you. You're ignoring the fact that he's not putting effort. You know that what I say in my videos. You know that you shouldn't be doing this, and you still are. Move on from this. My thing with you is that you have to recognize when things won't work out. That's my thing. That's what I want you to learn. And what you got to do is learn to stop cooking in the kitchen. Let the man do all the cooking. Let the man do the wooing. If he doesn't ask you out on a one-on-one date, don't accept it. Let him be romantic with you. This is not a guy who likes you. I'm sorry. He doesn't text you, and you're rationalizing it. Rather than saying he doesn't like me and that's why he's not responding, you're saying, oh, he's not a guy who's on his phone a lot. Everyone is on their phone. I don't care. Everyone is on their phone. Plus, should I accept the fact that he would text me back sometimes, since he didn't always text me? Yeah, he's not even responding to your tagged post. That guy's not motivated. He don't like you, and you got to move on, my love, okay? I'm not saying this to be lazy or mean. I just don't think he likes you. And if you say, what do you mean by that? Look, I read this whole email. I read the whole email. Nothing that you said indicates to me that he wants something. I don't see any motivation on his part, so move on. And I'm doing a course. Well, I'm not doing a course, but I do have a book club. I do have a Robert Greene book club. So if you guys want to join the Robert Greene book club, you could just join for $5 a month. And there I actually listen to the audiobook of Robert Greene, and we all listen to it at the same time. And we go through his whole books, and I react to it. We're doing the Art of Seduction right now. So you could join right now. And yeah. And the course that I would recommend for you in this situation is Nice Girl. Nice Girl, because it teaches you every step you need when you're single, and you're single right now. And if you would have listened to that course, Nice Girl, you would have not done this. I could tell you that. You would have not done this. I know that for a fact. So check out, no, not Nice Girl, the Psychological Game of Attraction. Check out the Psychological Game of Attraction, purchase it, and it'll teach you the single aspect of going from single to being in a relationship. Or you could purchase the whole course. You could purchase the Mindful Attraction University, which is the bundle, where you could purchase all of my main courses, Nice Girl, Psychological, and Natural Chemistry, all for a discounted price, okay? But the Psychological Game of Attraction is the course for you. Move on from this. If you ask me why, look, you put there's a lot of things in there, man. A lot of details. But the point is that from reading all of that, nothing in this said to me he likes you. I'm sorry. And then the photos. The dude has no shame in his game. Move on from this, okay? All right. That's my answer to you, my love. Hopefully this makes sense. And I'm trying to give you an answer that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that I don't think he likes you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the best thing I can tell you, man. All right?